They can see us. They can hear me.
Can they hear us?
I see the bar going boop a doop a doop a doop.
If the bar goes boopa doopa doopa doop, then that means we are live. So, hello, welcome
Hello.
everybody. We're planning to have a little D&D session, but surprise disaster cast instead. So, for those of you who were planning to watch the D&D session, thank you for still coming back over for the disaster cast. It's rare we could get this many people in one of our disaster cast podcasts. So I'm glad. I can't remember the last time I was on one with you, Vicky.
Because you only do them at 3 a.m.
Yeah, because that's the only time life allows sometimes. Yeah. But I remember seeing ones like with you and Conlan back in the day. But yeah, I can't remember the last time with you. Andrew, me and you have been on one or two before. You've joined occasionally a 3 a.m. disaster cast.
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
Mm. Well, Conlan, this is technically your segment, so why don't you start off?
Yo, everyone! Welcome to the DisasterCast. This is a D&D podcast where every once in a while, sometimes we may or may not talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Conlan. I'm the person who technically hosts this podcast. I play Brackett, Rain, Greg, and Altuck on this main campaign, as well as what you haven't seen yet in the background, MJ. Which you will see in the background soon enough, because I actually want to do that one shot sometime this summer. Because you're going to see some content from me this summer once I actually coordinate me, Vicky, and whoever else wants to join on a little fun side, like 2 or 3 session stint of fun. Hey, you have the floor, Bryan.
Thank you. Hi, Bryan, DM, Disaster Master, co-founder of Nat Disaster. And if I listed off the amount of players that I am, we might be here for a while. So, but yeah, down below, who we got on the other screens? Vicky, I think the eyebrows mean you go next.
Okay. I'm Vicky. I play Knock, Andy, Lemon, and Hiss. Yeah, I'm hanging out. I'm crocheting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I've successfully modified my mouth guard.
And last but not least, oh, I have a drill now too, Callumn.
Nice.
Does this mean I'm in charge?
He was pointing with the drill, so I felt
like you should. Okay. So, Andrew, I'm pointing the drill at you. Introduce yourself.
What up, guys? I'm Andrew. I currently play Oliver Evan Grove, the portal wizard with daddy issues.
You also play.
I did play Existence City's resident vigilante, Delson Martithas, aka the Shadow.
I missed that intro. Did you also play in the Callumn DM sessions?
I don't think so. I do not believe I did.
Oh, you had one other character. Oh my god, what was his name? From Humblewood. Oh my god.
Jax. Yeah, not legally distinct Rocket Raccoon TM.
It was Rocket Raccoon without being Rocket Raccoon. So
I made that slightly better, but did not solve the issue.
But yeah, so we are here for, oh my god, Conlan, since this was not prepared, what disaster cast is this?
33.
Are we sure? Because we actually got the YouTube number wrong for our last disaster cast.
I checked via what's on Twitch. I don't know if that's right or not.
Twitch is not right. Hold on. In this, we're gonna give the exact number.
I need to be told these things. If you don't tell me these
I
things,
figured that out as I was editing things. Yeah, we said it was session 32 of the disaster cast. But the previous disaster cast that we did uh was 33, and then we did 31 and 32. So technically that's 34, 35. This is disaster cast 36.
Nice.
I didn't do
A
this.
little bit off, buds.
I might have done this. This could be my fault. I actually don't know.
But I was like, what are you actually drilling by? Sam is special guesting behind me here today, along with Echo, looking really epic and majestic as fuck as
He's
she's
so
setting up the guest
voidy.
bed. Mm-hmm.
There's void back there.
But yeah, so we are here for session 36 in DisasterCast, and we weren't planning this, so topics or anything like that is literally on the floor here. Colin and I normally talk about these things beforehand. But yeah, what the session going into it, guys, I know we're not playing right now, but what were you guys looking forward to coming up in this next session when we do reschedule?
Well, maybe we should come up with a plan, honestly. I don't think we've done that.
This might be a good time to do that. We don't often have other things in group chats of trying to put together a little coordination of a plan. So everybody
Yeah,
got my recap.
yeah.
You guys remember where everything ended
How
off
about you give
last
us a good
time?
recap, Bry?
Yeah, you did a good job.
Well, last session ended off as you guys were traveling through the grasslands, heading towards the section in the middle of the grasslands where you were tipped off that that's where the starfall would fall, in an area of the grasslands that the Gandits do not go to. Traversing through, you guys ended up finding a guard tower and deciding to stealth around it to try to see what's going on there, with Nock and Vane flying up to the rooftop to get an aerial view. Yamakausi and Brackett and Oliver sneaking up into one side, and Yamakausi using wet hands to steal a pass key, apparently, off of one of the Gandits to access to the underground area. Nock had detected 4 Gandits in the tower, 4 below with the cart, and then 4 across the way, moving around on the other side of the field. And they detected other groups of 4s all over the place, including some underground, hinting at there being some sort of underground passage and channels in the grasslands. Nock also noticed weaponry in the tower and a chest. Brackett ended up using a divine sense and sensing beyond the normal range of 60 feet that there is some sort of fiend in that direction. And then as you guys were determining what to do and how to move forward, Vane pointed out to Nock that she saw a hellhound, a 2-headed hellhound, pulling a cart and coming in their direction with the other 4. So the 4 that Nock had seen over there before. And the session ended with Nock messaging back to Brackett something along the lines of, "This might be more than what it's worth," or something like that.
I think I said,
Maybe more
this is
trouble than it's worth.
probably more trouble than it's worth, yeah.
Yep,
Which I
it's more trouble
concur.
than it's worth.
I want us to sneak away for now, and if we have to deal with them later, we'll deal with them later.
Pretty much.
What do you-
But I think we should have a game plan.
Because what do you think Yamakausi is going to do?
Yeah.
He jumps in there. I'm abandoning him.
I mean, that seems to be the theme with you guys. So I loved last session too when Nock and Yamakausi went into the hole, and then Nock's just like, "Can we go to the objective?" And Yamakausi's like, "Yeah, I'll be right there." And Nock's like, "If you die, it's not my fault."
Yeah, the Heist group was like, "We'll wait for him," and this group's just like, "If he dies, he dies." Like, we tried.
We've known him for like 2 days. Like, I think I care about him, but like.
Yeah, it's.
Well, he completely
it's
lacks survival
okay,
instincts,
listen.
so.
You gotta take care of yourself, buddy.
I think the worst
You're
thing
not
that I ever
taking care of
did was give Callumn those extra levels because he has too much confidence now.
What could
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
Dies instantly. Oh.
Like it's literally crazy as a DM that because of his level, he ups the curve for you guys. But he dies more than you guys, so you guys survive tougher things because of him, and just runs in,
Yeah.
deals some great damage, and then takes all the hits.
Yeah, Yamakasi's kind of a great target.
He's a great sponge.
Yeah. We're gonna have to probably discuss like what to do if they come by, because that's a lot of combatants and y'all are grouped. So
Mm-hmm.
Need a sneaky.
I'm not grouped. I'm on a roof. I've got the perfect vantage point, actually.
You're in the perfect spot right now. Oliver's in a pretty
Yeah.
good spot too, because you guys are on like a little, like when you're going down a hill and there's like a rock growing out of the hill that over there that you can like sit on or like hide slightly
Yeah.
behind. That's what I was trying to convey last session. I've listened to it multiple
Yeah.
times now, and I was like, I hope I got that across. I didn't quite explain it that way, but like that's kind of like what they're hiding behind. So Oliver's got a perfect fireball location.
Yes, I
Mhm.
do.
If need be. If need be.
Yes, I do. If
Yeah,
need be.
but it's a hellhound. You know that they don't fire doesn't
Yeah,
really hurt them.
but the Gandits aren't.
I know.
Murder.
Yeah. Also, let's not fireball where I am. Thanks.
I just thought too. Yeah, Andrew, did you pull up the map?
No, but I can.
If you look at it, how I laid everything out, I was like, oh, if he waits a few seconds, it'll be the perfect rocks fall. Like low key. Rocks Fall is a rectangular shaped area effect, and like if the like
He can still rocks
I didn't
fall, then
even
we can
mean to
leave.
do that,
They can just be
and I
baffled of why
think
the rocks fell. That could be our out.
if you guys are okay with just low key straight up murdering Gandits that aren't being aggressive towards you, you can probably clear them pretty quickly and then just be left with the Hellhound and a few Gandit stragglers, like honestly.
Kind of bad to
Oh
kill
yeah,
people who
that's
haven't
okay.
hurt
Yeah,
us
that's a pretty
in
good. That's a
any way,
pretty good.
shape, or form.
I can see.
Yeah.
I can see what you're
That's
talking about.
that's the moral gray area when it comes to D&D on being the level of murder hobos. Or
Yeah. I kind of feel like Nox's instinct right now is to try to get out of here. If something happens to call attention away, maybe try to get that chest on the way down, but
that's always an option as well too. I mean, it
yeah.
doesn't have to be so straightforward of kill them and then steal their stuff. It could be, hey, cause a distraction and then somebody goes in and steals their stuff.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, if
Bury
we could
them all
cause a
under rubble and
distraction
then
far
leave.
enough away.
Mhm.
No.
Hey, they
Aren't
didn't
you the
jump.
lawful good paladin?
When did he ever become lawful
Chaotic
good?
good. Chaotic
Or
good.
chaotic good.
He's
Chaotic
never been
good.
lawful
Okay,
good
sorry,
in any way, shape,
sorry.
or form. What dreams
Sorry.
are you having?
But still, you're good, right?
They try
That's
to
getting
straight up
to-
rob
that's
and
getting
murder
towards
us all.
chaotic
I don't
neutral
like
there,
the
buddy.
Gandits.
That's
fair enough.
That's true. You guys
But
do
we
have a
killed all
bias
those
against
guys.
them.
We killed all
So-
those guys, though.
Yeah, and low key knock like you and Kyron like hunted down the ones running away. Like they were running away and you're like, nope.
Yeah, Naka kind of was in the heat of the moment a little bit murdery, and then afterwards was like, wait, what the fuck did I just do? Those
Yeah,
were
didn't you?
people.
If I remember correctly, you literally had like a monologue in future sessions, like Nox kind of like thinking about the fact that she kind of just murdered a bunch of people. Like,
Yeah, because that was the first time that Nock had killed a human. Like
Mhm.
a
An
like,
actual human.
because unfortunately, Nock doesn't really see goblins as people. This is a whole other thing that needs to be like worked out later.
it's
not
called
good.
character flaws.
It's not good. they live in a area where goblins are killing people regularly, taking things from them, and so there's a little bit of a goblin hatred going on in that area, and so not wasn't taught that they're people, hasn't ever met any of them that are reasonable. Not that
Yeah.
they really needed to be.
Yeah, it really shows the different areas in a D&D world, because the Dark Shade, goblins are monsters. They are just ravenous, humanoid-esque creatures that just want to murder, kill, they're just evil creatures. But ones there that doesn't define the whole race, and there were parts of the race who branched out of things like that and joined civilization. And there's ones like Rain's favorite tea shop owner at the Boiling Behemoth.
Yeah, which guaranteed
Yeah.
Knock will meet.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a time.
Oh my god, and all
How
of
you
the
don't make a
goblin
scene in my
kids
fucking
running
tea
around.
shop.
All of the goblin
I
kids
think-
running around.
I think not seeing children actually will probably be the thing that helps, because Knock
Children
has
at
a real
play.
soft spot for kids. Has such a soft spot for kids, and has probably never met a goblin child before.
Mhm.
I would guess. So
Yeah, because it's not like you guys are going
all
out
the
and
ones that would
hunting.
be invading. Yeah, exactly. It's not like we ever went to their homes and killed them. It was killing the ones that came and attacked us. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yes.
I'm curious when Oliver gets back to Zista City, exploring more about Oliver with the city, because it's crazy about that when we created this character. You started in the city, but your adventure immediately brought you out of it. So we haven't really got to see Oliver in the city yet, what a places Oliver knows, things that more things about your actual house. We haven't really even discussed what school Oliver had gone to and stuff like that. Because even though wizardry, you weren't part of a wizardry school, you are a learned person. You definitely went to school and learned and studied magic and stuff like that. Because that is something that is taught, just for the general knowledge of it, of what it is. So we haven't made much of Oliver's backstory other than his parents and his relationship with Rain. That is something that one day I think we need to flesh out a little bit more.
I would have to agree, for sure. Um, yeah,
Have you ever thought about anything like that?
not really, to be honest, beyond what we had already wrote out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have to talk with you about what places Oliver might have frequented in Zista during his time.
Because that's probably also going to come into play going back into the city, your general knowledge of the city as well too. This is a question for both Conlan and Andrew. About your time when you guys were together, though. Did
Lyle
Oliver
sentence.
ever compete in the death battles?
Death battles. What were the death battles again?
The cage matches down in the Underzista.
I'm doubtful.
There's solos and there's team battles.
I don't think he would have, no.
I think it would have been just past his level of anxiety he's willing to endure on his own part.
But you definitely joined Rain down there and probably have placed bets and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because Rain was never a combatant. Rain was always was betting, and when she was with Andy, she was associated with some of the fighters in terms of coaching them about, and that was about the most.
Mhm.
But she was essentially a manager.
That's
it plays
actually
into it a lot of how they met and everything. Rain and Andy met down there.
Yeah, she placed bets on him. He won. She won. Oh my God! You earned me all this money, drunk as hell. And then they partied. And then
This is actually interesting. This is actually a great idea for talking a little bit more
I
while
have
we're
written
all
a
here.
character that dated
Why-
both of two of my closest friends in my life. What a wildly weird thing.
What a time though that we have everybody here in that like
Yeah.
weird circle of relationships. Like honestly,
Mhm.
why don't we like talk more canonical like backstory stuff that you
Okay,
never
okay.
get to delve into in D&D games?
Let me get
because
Rain's
this is,
shit
like, the
up.
meat.
Give me a sec.
And also
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Andrew, we can go a little bit and kind of like brainstorm things with Oliver, but we can also talk more things Delson to in the city as well too, because we don't really
Okay.
get to talk this stuff, and
No.
it's
No.
it's kind of fun to workshop things. Like I feel like if we played D&D in college, Andrew, we would be in the pod all the time and just like sitting
You
there
guys would have
stoned
never
talking about
left
the
and gone to
backstory.
school. You guys would have fucking
Done
flunked.
with it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
100% Bryan would have flunked out of school if he started doing D&D that early.
Sorry, I didn't get my degree. I got into Dungeons and Dragons instead. But then
We
again,
are-
low key, we probably would have created a live stream sooner and gotten ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we actually would be in a better spot because we would have been an OG.
Yeah.
Like we would have been streaming while Critical Role Campaign 1 was coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was
were
playing
thinking-
D&D
little bit, I thought
back
you were
then.
gonna be-
It just like wasn't anywhere near as
I didn't know
sophisticated
you
as that game
played
is.
Hold on, I need to get another Mountain Dew for Sam.
Okay, did you drop hers?
No, she put it next to my cup, so I thought she was telling me to like just finish it off, so I poured it in my drink.
He's just so
Bad.
selfish. I'm so sorry, Sam.
There you go, Sam.
That's it.
I had to be
Wait, why
very
are you
careful with the rain folder because one of the pictures is literally like because I've referenced
Boobs?
models of her. It's just her boobs. I'm just like I
Yeah.
don't need that. Can't be on stream.
No, it cannot. We will get
No.
a TOS.
No, that's a violation of the Twitch terms of service.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep, that's not good.
Hi, Sam.
Why? Hi.
Quick, Sam, open his binder and tell us all his secrets.
All of his secrets? Okay.
Okay, in the
cool.
group
Where's
chat,
the binder?
Andrew, you'll see I sent the document which you have of Oliver's knowledge of rain.
Okay.
That's at least the
gotcha.
stuff we've already established. I know we will establish more probably as we chat. And I have up Rain's chronological history.
You mapped it all
Is
out.
this
That's the
that?
No-
Ah,
yeah, this is
yeah,
this.
you have it behind you. Wow.
Well, Sam, as one of our background producers, you said we need to have better background, so I put
did.
a background.
Yeah,
map.
the ambiance is real. You're doing great work.
I even turned the light on. I look like a person instead of a hermit.
He asked for my opinions. That was a mistake. He was like, "Hey, so like, what's your opinion?" And I was like, "Do you actually want it?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well,
You need to
I've heard
fix some
enough
shit.
I've heard enough sessions to have some really great, compliments, and then also other things where I'm like, yeah, babe, maybe you could fix this." What is happening? Did he break this?
Probably.
This is the first time I've ever sat at this desk. There's way too much stuff here, and I feel like I have ADD even though I don't have ADD. Ooh, there's a cube.
Yeah, he's so much shit there. I have
There's a lot.
Rain has 5
Is
pages
that
of
a nice
backstory.
cube? I have a nice cube too.
I got him this for anxiety, but he doesn't play with it because he's worried about getting it dirty. Yeah. Well, why aren't you squishing it?
Because
Play with it.
cat hair all
You're supposed to play with
Play
it
with
though.
it. Play with
Vicky,
it. I have
Vicky,
one too.
Vicky, that looks really fun.
It's a
See what you gotta
It
do,
is,
Bryan,
it's
is after it's
great.
covered in cat
Is
hair,
it literally?
you gotta
Is it
find someone
literally?
allergic to cats and shove it in their mouth.
Is it literally a gelatinous cube?
I
can't
can't
wait
I
wait.
mean, it
basically
basically could be. I actually
It's called a
understand that
nice
reference,
cube.
believe it or not.
Great.
What? Gelatinous cube.
lo-
I understand that
I love
reference,
it.
Yeah.
I love
It was
it.
also
I love
in
it.
the Dungeons
Okay, I'm
and
gonna
Dragons.
yield to
Or-
you because I'm gonna go back upstairs. But
Well,
it was
we're just
really
getting-
fun playing with all the stuff on your desk. Oh, really?
Yep. As soon as I walk up.
You say it to me now.
I have a floor again.
Get the cube. Play with it.
I got the cube. Ooh, it's harder than
Yeah.
I thought. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Where did you? I want one
Yeah.
of these. I want one of these cubes.
Oh my god. It's probably
It's a
Amazon.
nice cube. You can get it like anywhere that has fidget toys, pretty much. Like, I
Interesting.
think they probably have it at like Walmart, Target, Amazon.
If Toys R Us was still around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Five Below probably
So
has them.
So do we begin?
Yes.
Am I the only person who has any attention left?
Yeah.
No,
We're
I have the
good.
attention. Okay, low key. This whole disaster cast has been like, wow, our attention levels are all four of us are just down the toilets right now. I think, hold on,
My
rein in,
brain
guys.
was
Rein
in
in.
a different mode. I was ready to go ham and be a different person, and now I have to be me.
What a disappointing night. I have to be myself. Oh,
You can be
It's
knocking
hard
and Dreesh
to-
still.
It's
Well,
hard to
like-
transition from the brain vibe, you know?
mhm.
You ever can't
Oh,
put
yeah.
one headphone in and be like, give me a sec, I have to change playlists.
So hey, that's why honestly I think this is the best thing to be talking about in a disaster cast that takes the place of a D&D session.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the first one we've done something like this, but like I'm
In
sure
a
it'll happen
while,
again
at the very
sometime.
least.
Yeah, so let's stay in the headspace of our characters. Like let's talk some more like backstory stuff, or like honestly too, we can start talking about what Delson, Rain, and Andy are doing in Zista in the day since the heist campaign ended. So what
Well,
direction
would
do you
love
guys
to
want to
talk
take this
about
in?
that.
I can
That
tell
would
you
be
for a
fun to talk
fact,
about.
in terms of Rain, is she's spent the past 24 hours since the heist not on General Eldrick's butt, but essentially like in his office, and him has just have given up that he now has an assistant.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
think,
Are you on the payroll now? Like, what are you? What...
She's just not giving him a choice.
I think realistically, despite other people's objections, Andy has probably immediately gone to Normal, and asked Normal for help.
Okay. What would Andy say?
Well, I know that you want to keep an eye on me, him, us, him mostly. I think I could do that if you could maybe do something for me for a little bit.
What would you propose to Normal?
Well, so
It's a little more informal D&D because like it's not like in session happening, but like still I want to hear what you're saying. Like, yeah.
So because Cossin's gone missing, it's like, Andy fully wants to figure out what the fuck has happened to Cossin. Cossin is probably like the most important person in his life, like apart from his family and these fucks. And like we've seen the lengths that Andy will go to save a friend. And that was somebody that he met days ago. This is somebody that he's known for years. So this
Since
is
you were
consult a
reborn.
time. This is consult a time traveler kind of business. This is this is take me back to the last place I saw him and help me fix this. Yeah,
Okay.
literally. That
Have
is
Andy
the plan.
have Andy roll a persuasion check.
Let me get his fucking character sheet up, dude.
We can still roll dice tonight and have effects on a storyline, guys. This is outside session now. This is canon in the making.
We can finalize if it's actually canon if we override it with something that happens in a session.
Well,
need
hey,
to
that's where we
get
can make these
weird.
small things, and then depending on what we do here, I can start brainstorming a thing, and then hey, text Vicky, hey, this is what I think will happen. Let's figure out what happens next.
Yeah, this has been my plan since we ended the heist.
So, Conlan, Andrew, think
Something.
about what Delson and Rain are doing the next day. One thing you would do, and then we
Okay.
can kind of talk about it and
Oh,
like
Chris
see
Wade
what would
was
talking about
happen.
the day after the heist
Andy's
campaign ended.
persuasion
Yeah,
is
the
pretty
day
high.
after you had to sit there spending half of your day explaining to General Eldrick what the fuck you just did. What?
While
You
also with
I
a
think,
strength of
still
like
have-
5.
Yeah,
you
well,
guys
yeah,
still have
yes. Well,
negative strength.
all Delson is rotting.
The legally
I'm
most powerful
gonna-
person in the city is livid with you.
Pause. Vicky, what did you just roll? That face did not look good.
I'm gonna use my luck point. I think I get 1 a day, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
I'm using my luck point. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no.
Adding to Andy's never-ending
using-
streak of nat ones.
Except
using
it's
my
not
1.
counting.
That's not great still, but it's better than a 1. Holy fuck. That's a 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah, 12.
What I will say is that with that, it won't be convincing enough for normal to bring you there, but you have piqued normal's curiosity, and she promises to look into that moment and asks you where the last moment you saw him was, what that you guys were doing. So you would be probably telling about like forgotten storage, and because
Yeah,
I believe
forgotten
that's the last time you saw Kassen, right?
Yeah. Yep. When I was leaving with Yamakasi.
Okay.
Yeah, and we split up.
So that 12, I'll give you that hey, normal, you bring up a fair point about caring about time a lot inside, and in order for that cooperation, normal will be willing to at least hey, look into that, even though it doesn't have any direct influence or like appeal to normal. Normal's like, I guess I can definitely, look around and see what I can find.
Take it.
So you have the rest of the day for other things if Andy wanted to do anything else, while normal will get back to Andy on something like that.
Yeah, I guess from there. Has Rain disappeared yet, or is Rain still around?
So Rain, what did you do the morning after?
Rain has not disappeared in any way, shape, or form. So
Cool.
what time did we end our last session? Was it at the end of the night?
It was the night when everybody was going to bed.
Okay.
So this would be the next morning.
The next morning, Rain would probably head directly to the why am I forgetting it? The transfer station.
Rain, also just because the last thing you wanted to know in the heist campaign was whether soldiers were coming around the house as a perimeter around Delson. Yes, there are soldiers having a little guard around Delson, just around the house. The public doesn't know he's there yet. People walk by and are confused why there's a little bit more guard there. But there aren't like riots of people or anything coming to Delson's
They don't know this
place
is Delson's building yet, so we're kind of okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like as long as Delson goes out the back entrance or just like stays inside, you're good.
Okay, well, I would start my morning with my normal morning tea, go on upon my breakfast to go to check on Delson to see how he's doing. So, Delson, how are you doing?
Well, aside from trying to form my words,
No worries, dude. This is the most informal thing of all time.
aside from aside from being given a stern talking to by General Eldrick, Delson is simply trying not to waste away.
Your strength is at a 5.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Better
Yeah,
than
so-
yesterday,
yes,
but it still
so-
fucking sucks.
Yeah, he is just trying to stay alive.
We'll try and rest. I'm going to go talk to
Yes,
General
he-
Eldrick
he-
and see if I can help around to see what we can do in this situation.
Delson just wants to rest because everything hurts.
So I guess I will.
Is anybody else in the house? Oh my god. Oh, wait. Fucking oh my god, what's Andy's best friend, the fucking gnome? Oh my goblin. Oh my god. Fucking what's his name?
Bleak?
Bleak. Oh my god, I haven't said Bleak in
Bleak
so
is in the
long.
house.
Sorry.
Bleak lives
Yes,
in my
Bleak is
apartment,
in the house now.
or the apartment below me.
Delson, Bleak is 100% looking in your cabinets and finds some version of chicken noodle soup and is making you some soup
Oh, buddy.
with warm bread.
Oh,
So Delson,
angel.
We've accidentally,
Delson-
by the way,
Oh, dude.
of all context of anything, we've accidentally just stolen a servant.
that's all Bleak knows how to do. So,
Like,
like,
He's not our servant in any way, shape, or form. Like, he's our
No.
employee. We employ
He's our
him,
friend.
but he doesn't know better, so he's like, I make soup.
so
Master-
Delson, you're laying around and Bleak just makes you a bowl of chicken noodle soup and warm loaf of bread with butter.
Buddy.
Delson is very grateful. Delson is very, very grateful.
All right,
I
so
But I
Delson
saved
has a
his
very
life.
relaxing and low-key morning listening to the rain and hanging out with Bleak. Love it. I would love to see that episode.
Study too.
yeah, it's just Bleak. It's just Delson in a chair with his tea, sipping it occasionally, and Bleak,
Bleak
going through a
over
book
to the
with
kettle,
pictures.
refilling the tea. Like,
Yeah. Oh my god. Like the rain falling outside the window.
yep.
Ugh.
Delson occasionally walking up to his like humbling over to his like wall of like things following the crimes. And honestly, what would Delson do with his crime board now that he has literally exposed every crime of his father?
TBD. TBD. He doesn't really know.
I sense he does occasionally walk over and move a string to being like, oop, I was a
Yeah.
little wrong about that theory.
Yeah.
He's not-
Direct
he's not-
to the board.
I don't think he's gonna clear it all out because obviously he knows that there is still work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
There is
I
still
feel like even though you're weak and you're homebound, Delson would still be in that mentality. Like, okay, I've just exposed all this, but yes, there is still more work to be done. So I feel like he would rest, but he would also spend time in his
Yes.
lair figuring
formulating.
shit out.
Formulating, yes. There is still
Mhm.
corruption in Zista that
Oh,
needs to be
you know-
rooted out.
He's still cleaning his
Andy
swords.
will pick up like a whole bunch of fries for everybody.
Yeah, that, and just doing push-ups and pull-ups.
Attempting to.
McDonald's or Fry Queen?
Fry Queen. Come
Fry
on.
Queen. Oh my! I forgot about
on.
Fry. I forgot about
It's
Fry
Fry
Queen.
We're
I
sponsored,
forgot
by
about
the
Fry
way. We're
Andy
sponsored
is
by Fry
loyal.
Queen. We're
forgot.
I'm a
I-
Fry Queen stan.
Dude, come on.
I'm an oligarch.
They've got like the actual potato skin, so it's better, you know.
Bryan's about to become an oligarch. She's willing to be paid off.
All right, so Delson stays in the morning. Well, and with Bleak, you head out and go to the streets, and you head to General Eldrick.
Yep, I get dressed up in more formal attire than I have, but still with my armor and whatnot. And this time I bring that shield and sword that I wore during the gala, and wear
Okay.
them on my back because I don't
Which
care.
that shield was the one that was fixed up like the original, like old Zista City shield, right?
Rain's being a little not subtle, but also people don't know better, so like, that's neat. And that way later they see it, they go, oh shit.
Getting into the armory and transfers building is a little fucking insane.
I would have asked one of the
there
guard to
is-
bring me to it.
There is, well, yes, you can definitely get an escort there. The front of the building is like, there's like riots that the guards have to just keep people back. People demanding justice and also solutions at the same time. Uh, there's also it's brought to your attention, Conlan, kind of, I think we were talking about this in the last disaster cast, that the front of Zista City, like Fortune's Plaza, is becoming basically a refugee camp for everybody who from the Sovereign Airways who is outside the bubble of the Queen's protection that was literally getting slaughtered by elementals. The knights let them into the city, and you hear a lot of news about people basically saying the gates to Zista City have been closed off, and now the front is just utter chaos. There's no direction, and they demand answers from the guard. Directions. What do we do? What are you guys doing for us? But you are able to get snuck into the building with your formal escort.
I guess I'll check in on General Eldrick to see how absolutely livid and dying in his soul he is right now.
Yeah, it is absolute chaos in there. It's a mixture between what you'd imagine like a war tent is with a chaotic office building at the exact same time.
Yeah, because there's so much bureaucracy of like, we need to fill out these requisition forms so we can get more of this. But do we? Because, like, should we just do it? Should we just...
And also people trying to track all these new crimes and record them down with things, trying to cross-reference it with some things, people demanding certain things because these crimes clearly shown that this was stolen from them and it's their property, but there's no proof because this was all just magically information dropped on everybody's heads. Yeah, utter chaos, and you realize again that General Eldrick's office was destroyed by your Duna platform in the couple nights prior.
That's how unfortunate.
So you find him once again in his makeshift office in the transfer station that would normally have the Duna platforms go down to the Era Amber Castle and all the other places. Most of that has been shut down except for very specific cases. So he has found peace and quiet here.
General.
So, do we want to actually do the full role play, or just kind of like, hey, what are you going to talk about and figure out everything?
I'll play a little bit of roleplay because I like being Rain and it's fun.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Or at bare minimum, that's how she would start it. She would just be this simple, General.
The just for the sake of trying to get as
Yeah.
much done in this as possible, the general will look very like disgruntled, but also like a sigh of relief to see you safe and see you here again. He looks like he hasn't got a lot of sleep. He tells you obviously about all the chaos that is going on, about the people's needs, everything with the the random knowledge drop, and just kind of refresh all that stuff that is going on in the city. And that they are trying to formulate some sort of rescue plan down to Era Amber Castle, where the Queen, the King, and all of Turkis's 7 is supposedly down there.
What do you need me to do?
I don't think he knows what you're capable of, but he doesn't know what the right decision is, and he'll get that across to you. That he was not meant to lead the city, the people, but enforce the rule of law and the rule of the Queen and King.
Okay. She would ask about if having some kind of civilian face would make this easier for him, as well as how would we go about getting permission of the Queen to do so.
Civilian face meaning like what?
He's the head of the military. Someone needs to be the quote, like not a governor. That's not the right word because it's but there's generally a bureaucratic bureaucrat who's in charge of dealing with the people directly or running the office that deals with that directly in terms of social services.
Mm-hmm.
So taking the load off the guard.
So is Rain asking him if he needs her to be the face, like for
helping
the
him
Neolithic
deal with this
Armory, like
crisis.
the one who speaks to the people?
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check, Rain.
Let's see if Brackett's dice work.
Rain's dice.
I'm using Brackett's dice right now.
Oh, we'll see.
I didn't get Rain's sheet out, but I think that's pretty good because I rolled a 16. But I did not
when you move from Brackett's sheet to Rain's, and you're like, wow, the numbers are a lot higher.
They are. The problem is getting to Rain's sheet is harder because when I search it now, it just brings me up to like some sexual assault website about like how to report and deal with all those things. Because apparently a network called Rain Network, I inadvertently wrote in subtext into my character I didn't plan on.
Whoops.
If anyone needs that, good information to have.
Yeah. Okay, not Bracket, other character.
Rain's persuasion, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if
I
you got
think it's
expertise in
it's
it, but I
either
know
a
you were
2.
pretty charismatic for a rogue.
It's either a 2 or a 4. I just need to check. It is a 3. See, in between 2 and 4.
Hey!
Incredible
So what's
job.
the total?
That's 19.
19? The general ask if you want who you are to be revealed yet, or if you would prefer to like be a new named person, like have an alias, and he is willing to give that position to you, but just is very curious as to how you want to go about it.
Maybe we leave Cinderheart out of it until we talk to the Queen. But simply Rain is fine. It's a common
And Rain
enough
is
name.
a common enough name. Oh my god, I love you. One brain cell.
Yeah, we share it.
We've always done that. It's okay.
Me and Bryan have shared one brain cell since we became best friends.
Yes.
It's a competent enough name that it would be a relatable thing to the people. And he would agree to that and allow you to be somebody who can like try to speak to the people, hear the people, honestly be the voice between the royalty
Military.
or the army and the people. All right, so Conlan, you have that to move forward with, and you and I can talk in a future disaster cast on maybe I don't know, a Rain speech to the people or what she says, because after this, right outside this building there is the people crying for some sort of answer. So that's one thing that you can think about, a little homework assignment for you, Conlan.
I know. You can put it as a homework assignment, even though I already have ideas, but let's keep going.
Love this. Doing this kind of just like fill in the blank. We've talked about this for so long, but like we've never actually done the like, hey, let's just like fill in the blank. Like, hey, we're not doing a session, but like let's continue the story kind of
as well as
thing.
give some little hints of what's in the future.
Andrew, I want to know, so I don't have a list of all your father's crimes yet. Sorry, there's a lot.
He's working on it.
I will get that at one point, but he's lived a long life of crime, my man, and you weren't specific, so it goes all the way back to the first time he stole from one of his siblings.
Like, yeah, people know that this means that people have even more definite, like, understanding of the family tree.
People
No,
know, like, when
remember,
he lied
remember,
to
there's
somebody.
no names of anybody else except him. It's the amount that there was somebody there, but it does not implicate anyone. And that's not going to distinguish between the actual accomplices in the crime and the victims it's done to necessarily. If there's like a business or something like that,
I
but like
guess.
like
Sorry, keep going.
no,
Uh,
I'm actually we can workshop this kind of thought because I mean I'm the DM, but like not everything is complete that I have. Like, what do you guys think? Genuinely, that I put in that it's not going to implicate anybody
Yeah.
accomplice wise, but like with just random people like that, like do you think it would reveal all the people that he has wronged? Like it'll actually be named for all of that?
Maybe not all of it, but I feel like there's some of it where it might just be obvious.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I think more
hard.
so
You
that.
can't like
Yeah.
pick and choose when it's this weird magical wish spell.
Right.
Like, there's some things where it's like, yeah, by the way, he murdered those people. Like, there's
Yeah,
some things where it's just kind of like blunt about it. It was like, yeah, he murdered that family because it was like the whole family's
Yeah.
dead, so it just says the
yeah,
murder of the blah 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 family.
like especially the one that Delson. Sorry, I'm getting a drink. It's grabbing it for the garage. Is
Okay.
like the one
okay.
that Delson
Saw.
specifically saw and then saw the person with his father's dagger and stuff like that. There will be obviously direct recount of the events of that with his father hiring going through two people it won't be naming off of to hire an assassin to basically go and murder those competitors and burn down their building and
So he literally says
the
plotting the murder and arson of the blah 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 family compound.
yes.
Yeah.
So there's distinguished proof that Delson, that moment you saw, you now have explicit step by step, like, hey, this is what happened. This was one of his crimes. And you know everybody has that now. And there's a lot of other crimes. Like what Delson can't do much other than think as he's healing from all of this.
From two
So
wish bells in a row. Yeah.
yeah. You did one, you felt a little bit better, and then you just decided to go through it all over again. So what would you now with all this knowledge from your wish spell? What would Delson want to do? You don't know currently what's going on with your family. Obviously after that spell, you got out of Dodge and got back to your place.
Uh. Yeah. He's really just. He's really just as he's healing from this, just trying to collect his thoughts and trying to figure out what he's gonna do moving forward, dealing with obviously the consequences of this. And I feel like there were definitely gonna be some unintended consequences that he didn't account for.
So what I'll say is, Vicky, you
Mhm.
did normal in the morning, right? And obviously then you came back and you
Yeah.
said you brought Fry Queen back.
Yeah, brought fries. Yeah.
You get back there with Bleak and Delson, and and didn't Andy give Delson's sister the address on the
Yes.
way out
Oh
of the
yeah, she has the
building?
address now.
I sure did. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted her to know that there was somewhere safe where she could go if she didn't want to be around her family.
So 1 second, I gotta find it because I don't have a perfect memory. The Kalinas, Andrew.
Yeah.
I would say you'll get a knock on the door when you, Andy, and Bleak are the only ones home, and it's Kalina, your sister.
I want to say that Andy opens the door because
The door that's not fixed with the little broken areas of it. Yep.
And he knows that Delson is like weak, so I think Andy still has like the little thing of fries in his hand as he opens the door. Like, hello? Oh, hi.
Hey,
Want a fry?
and she'll take some. Yes.
Come on in.
Big
And
bag
Andrew,
of...
you're sitting in your living room. Delson, you're sitting in the living room with Andy, Kalina, and Bleak.
Yep.
Kalina will kind of ask you first off. You don't look that good. How are you?
Oh, uh, I sort of may or may not have. Does she even know what a wish spell is? I don't.
I mean,
I
you
don't.
can find out.
Roll, bitch,
If,
roll!
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, hey, if you say, like, what are you just gonna say you have a wish sword, or like, how are you gonna explain it?
I
D-
don't know. I basically, I think I would just. How do I want to word this? I found an artifact that allowed me to uh alter reality, if you will.
Your sister,
And I
strange enough, you found out in the past couple years has gotten into, more fantastical type novels and things like that. So, the idea of reality shifting and stuff as an actual concept, she has heard of it. She has heard of the wish spell.
I'll tell her it allowed me to use the wish spell, and I, as she probably knows in her head, released all of this information. So everyone knows everything raw, every crime our father has committed.
Should probably ask you how you knew.
How I knew?
Hmm.
Well, I was a witness to at least one of them. I uncovered evidence of others.
What's the Wi-Fi password?
1 second. Mittens 57. Everybody knows my Wi-Fi
Mittens,
password now.
mittens,
Mhm.
mittens.
Yep. So say that one more time. Sorry.
Fuck did I say?
You're a witness to one of his crimes.
Yes, I was a witness to at least one of his crimes, a pretty severe one at that.
She'll ask if you she'll ask if you are the shadow.
I will take her down to the lair.
Vic,
I'll be a long pause, and then I'll just tell
come
her to
with me,
come with me.
sister.
I'll just tell her to come with me, and then I'll
Andy's
move the
just in the
book.
corner vibrating.
I'll just tell her to follow me. I'll move the bookcase and take her down to the lair.
For some reason,
Andy,
in my head,
the Shadow's
that's
biggest
fine
fan.
doing that. In my head, I was like, Bleak, move the bust. And then Bleak goes over.
Yeah, and then obviously
Yeah, Bleak's your Alfred.
obviously she'll see all my equipment and the shadow outfit like on a kind of like sitting on a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
And the horrifying wall of crazy person.
And I will just look at her and say, yes, I am.
she'll let you know that she has actually been kind of like following the shadow, kind of admiring what he was doing, and she didn't think it would. She never would have thought it was you until all the strangeness from the past couple of days, and
Came to
also the accounts of people seeing the shadow in certain situations at the gala, you disappearing at times.
yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't easy hiding it from you, but I had to protect the people I cared about, and it wasn't easy.
She'll let you know too that it wasn't easy staying at home with mom and dad either. Uh, they
Oh,
seem to. I sorry, my camera was getting blurry, so I just on and offed it. Um, their marriage had been getting a little bit strained over the past year since you left. A lot of arguing, and Kalina has really
I think our son's
lost
murdering
herself.
guards. I think.
She's really lost herself in her studies. Um, she has she lets you know too that in the she's hidden it over the past couple days because there's been so much going on. Uh, but in the past year, she had joined the Origins Institute because she had unlocked some innate magical capability, and she's been trying to figure it out.
It's
So magic,
because she could be a druid, because it's in our blood.
it is.
Yeah. Literally that side of the family, bud.
And she also lets you know that she doesn't want to stay at home after everything was revealed about dad.
Well, you're more than welcome to stay here. I have plenty of rooms.
Conlan.
Just because I'd like my character interject in this because it'd be fun. But I first need to go over what I would probably do before I left after bothering General Eldrick for a couple hours and doing my job and doing some of like people stop shouting. The kingdom will do this. If you have a business that can help, please talk to just randomly assign a guard whose now job it is to take down names.
Mm-hmm.
The guard who just like, can she? She has lots of authority sounding in her voice. So, before I left, though, I would bother General Eldrick to ask, what are we going to do about Mr. Martifas? Because we need
There's
that to
no
be
way
swept as quickly as possible.
it's such an unprecedented moment that no matter what he decides, he knows it will be scrutinized because he's intelligent enough that to know that if something like this magically got dropped, it could be a giant deception, or it could be something akin to like a just complete drop of every crime that he's ever done, like an entire laundry list of everything. But he's not sure how to prove that. And they've also just been announced for be descending as a family. He
If I
knows
can,
the Martithas family needs to be protected, but he's not sure if arresting
all of them is
him
what needs
or
to be.
doing something is the right call if it's the basis for it is just information that was just mass dropped on the city. It's unprecedented.
I will ask very simply if I can get more direct proof and evidence for us. can those people be potentially made immune to the forthcoming trials that will be necessary?
Are you asking what proof for other people in the Martathas family, like that they weren't involved?
Know that they can come forth to show it was his dad's fault. And
So you're saying if you can get people to
collaborating
confess
evidence.
that, like, hey, it was the dad.
Yeah, collaborating evidence. Because I am related to them. Delson's my cousin.
He would say if there was any hard evidence, then that would be something he could go off of. But without some way to prove it all, right now the Martathas family is under like protective custody. Like they're being watched by the guard and protected, and their dissension is still planned, though postponed obviously because
Until
of
the
the
proceedings.
whole situation with with the storm. There's a
Mhm.
lot of other things that they need to do other than descend a family to their private island
Good luck!
right now. Like, can you imagine getting dropped off on your private island in suspended superiority?
It is under attack from elementals. That's how you solve the problem.
Yeah.
If they survived, they deserved it. Isn't that how, like, cruel dictatorships solve those problems?
No, the houses in the inner portion are still protected.
it's just
They're
very
in the
easy
bubble.
joke.
But they are literally just on their own island in the middle of a storm. So at least they get away from all the crazy. Honestly, Mr. Martathas is probably praying for that.
I'll just say before I leave to him, I'll see what I can do before I head out.
Okay. Pause real quick and you guys talk about all that. I'm going to leave here and I'm going to find a quiet spot and I'm going to get on my phone and we'll continue for a little bit there, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Love you guys. Continue the conversation.
See you in a second.
Yeah, I was about to then interrupt coming in with groceries, more tea, and finding my cousins saying, "Yep, we all live here. We have a new house as a family." It's a weird sitch.
So this is my third house, I guess. I guess I have 3 houses now.
You do, apparently. And I now have to talk to Kalia. Well, not Kalia, what's the sister's name?
Like, it's at least very close to that.
Yeah.
Delson's sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kalina.
I
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Kalina.
Brian so close. Good job.
Brian using slight variations on sounds. But yeah. Rain's gonna have to talk to both of you and be like, so how do we deal with this? And also, which of your family do you like most? I have no opinion on them. I'm the cousin that's neutral.
Yeah.
Because, like, I assume we want to try and get your mom to not get in trouble. Even though she 100% was covering stuff up for your dad.
Nelson's conflicted on that. Because he knows his mother was complicit in most of it.
Yeah, I know. But she's also the one that we can make a deal with the easiest. Of course, she has to betray her husband.
Fair.
But I think you'd rather her take control of the business than you be stuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't want that responsibility.
No.
I think there's other options too, though. We don't know if Kalina's interested in that. She could be.
Well, she wants to start investigating her magic side.
Yeah.
That's true.
And she doesn't want to stay at home anymore, so.
Or also, we don't know if one of the uncles was just like, all I did was the taxes. I didn't do anything else. You give him in charge. Like, we don't know.
I'm the bookkeeper.
Like, we don't know, because we obviously know there's more family members and, like, other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
The beginning of Cousin House.
Kind of a confusing name. I'm not your guys' cousin.
Andy, you used to be an elf. Close enough.
Okay. That's not right, but okay.
That's not how this works.
That would be pretty gross, right? If we were cousins at one point. I don't know if you want
I don't know. I was
that joke.
I was fake dating Delson at one point, so
I know.
that'll be
I
a
know.
problem that will be forever scandalous amongst
my
upper crust.
family's not related to you guys. Y'all got wood elf.
Yeah, we're from the Grove.
Yeah, I think Andy's dad is a high elf. I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly. I don't have my book out right now.
I know. I think we wrote some of Delson's that they look like a fairly neutral elf. It's hard to tell their descent from
Yeah.
wood elves.
Yeah, I have like one elf parent and one human parent, like full half. And then, but I'm a cat.
But I'm a cat
So-
man.
Catman. It's a kind of interesting question. Like, if Andy were to have a kid, would it be a tabaxi or would it be?
I think it'd be a tabaxi because that's the sperm in your balls.
I think so
bud.
too. I think so too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Gotta
actually,
start, like, a
in
whole
the
new
Zygote
genetic code.
square, one of the little squares is half elf.
Yeah. There's like a 1 in 10 chance or something like that.
If he happens to
1 in
marry an
20.
elf, he'll be higher.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Just like a cat person with like extra long pointy ears.
Hello.
A half tabaxi, half cat.
Hello.
All right, what have I missed?
Half tabaxi,
We were
half
joking
cat.
around. We were joking around about what would happen if Andy had a child. And would they have some elven characteristics because of Andy's past life?
Who would Andy have a child with?
We don't know. We haven't figured that part out.
Probably nobody. Considering the I don't want to finish that sentence.
He's considering that pansexual man making his deal.
Yeah. Considering who Andy is currently the most interested in, I don't think biological children are in the question.
Yeah.
Is what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
Andy always has Static completely fallen head over heels.
There's a power dynamic that's
I
unhealthy
mean,
in that
she's
one.
very nice. She's very nice. Yeah.
She has a
It's-
huge crush on Andy.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like you came on a little too strong. I value you as a person,
And by dating you, I can't ever have a completely safe
but like
and balanced
yeah,
opinion.
but
And-
unless you chill out a whole lot, there's no way.
Andy Senpai.
I hate that.
It's kind of like not to make a Harry Potter reference in the year of our Lord 2K25, but it's kind of like a Ginny and Harry kind of moment where it's like super uninterested because of how big the crush is.
Yeah,
at
and
the
there's the
beginning.
power
Mhm.
dynamic issues, and
Yeah. If like years passed and other stuff happened and
they
you
came
know,
back to seeing each other
it's
and
not,
hit it
it's
off.
not
Yeah.
completely out of the question because Static is a cool person. However,
Not right now.
Andy's not currently interested.
So where we were before I interrupted.
Though, if there was, I was gonna say, so it was 2 tabaxis, but one person formally being a half elf. I feel like it would be mainly tabaxi, but like there would be some hints of that half elven bloodline in there.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, what if they'd have like very pointy little cat ears?
Yes.
like-
Oh my
Like a
god, that would be
lynx.
so cute.
Also, like, Andy's so tall. Like, any kid that Andy had would have to be a giant. Like, just so tall.
Like they would have to play basketball if that became a thing in Sister
Yeah.
City.
Yeah. I mean, Andy wouldn't force anybody to be an athlete, but I think naturally that's gotta pass on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
if
Calvin,
Shaq had a child, I'm sure that his child would be athletically inclined. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. Is predetermined with all those genes,
Genetics.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works sometimes.
So Calvin, you were saying where you were back before?
So yeah, back where we were before,
That made sense.
which was with Delson and Kalina being down in the thing, the lair. Then I interrupted,
Mm-hmm.
and I am
You're basically saying you think you came home at about that time?
yeah,
Cool. Gang's all here.
with some groceries and more tea, in like bags or leaves or however
Nice.
they are distributed within the city.
So
I'm gonna
obviously, this information that Kalina just shared, and the fact that Kalina knows Delphin's the shadow and everything, all of that has been revealed to everybody. Andy and Rain, do you tell the rest of the group what you guys did that morning?
I will say we're
No.
gonna have to unfortunately
No.
make some very tough family decisions as the people who definitely aren't supposed to be in charge of these family matters. As I hand the tea off to Bleak for him to begin making more tea.
Yeah.
And I kind of sit down, kind of stressed. Because the reality is, as General Eldrick said when I talked to him today, someone's going to have to pay for these crimes. And it's going to need to be very public, and it needs to be very provable.
Yes, it will. It will be very public, and
Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
because I remember finding a ledger. I remember
You had the
finding
ledger.
something. Yeah. So I do have evidence of some of his crimes. So I will definitely present that to Eldrick.
You probably should present it when you're there so you can go over it.
Yes.
Because he's also going
So
to
you're saying
eventually
what,
need
the
you to
stuff
sit
that you
there and
guys found at the
categorize
eyeball?
stuff.
What?
So the stuff that you guys found at like the eyeball?
No, the
What's
ledger
that?
you still have at his dad's desk when we went for dinner.
Oh, right. Yes.
I
forgot
remember.
about that.
I'm not good at some shit, but when it comes to espionage and that bullshit, I'm in. No, I have the Galloway ledger that has the information of everyone who's been visiting the Eye of All and has some contact information and stuff for people who might have been doing some sketchy shit, praying to some god that isn't there yet.
So you guys would probably bring both of those over to
Yes.
General Eldrick at some point?
I ain't
Yes.
showing
And I
anyone the
mean,
Galloway ledger, but he's going to show that one.
I feel like the evidence that is now in everyone's head is worth something.
So that evidence definitely does corroborate with some of the knowledge that that was dropped onto people. So reading through that ledger, you would know that, knowing inherently the knowledge of the crimes and stuff. So you guys could directly, if you guys spent some time looking at this ledger, it would probably take a couple hours pouring through everything, and also obviously going through everything in your head, because honestly I've been thinking about that too, just knowledge being dropped in your head. Like, how do you sift through that? Like, it wasn't there, like, you've never thought of it before, but it's there. Like, I feel like you'd have to like read that and be like, okay, all right, yes, okay, I that's in there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it would be. I feel like Delson would probably write out like a whole chronological list.
I wrote
from
everything
top
I
to
could when we
bottom.
initially first got this information from my memory.
Oh yeah, you did.
It's the whole purpose of
I
creating as a
remember
character.
that. I remember that.
I remember I put everything
what?
down.
Mastermind rogue, dude. Yeah,
Mhm.
she wrote stuff down as the
soon-
information got dropped.
Yeah, I think, well, it wasn't
Into her
immediately, because I think
skull.
he wished it when we were dealing with bullshit.
Yeah, but like right after.
But
as soon
right
as
after the
possible, you
bullshit,
start
I was like,
writing.
I'm sure
I
it's
remember that actually.
I'm sure it's only like 90% of the information, but it's enough to be like, he going to jail forever.
Make it
So
easier to sift through.
I think that would be good enough there. And I feel like Kalina, if needing more evidence, would probably know a way to get more, and she would be willing to go back to the house in order to get some as well.
I was
If
actually going to
need
ask, oh, Kalina Telson, so I don't know our extended family at all. What uncles don't we like?
I don't even know the answer to that. What uncles don't we like? Yeah, I don't know how.
Well, you have your drunk cocaine addicted uncles that went to the gala, so
True.
They were implied to be not great guys.
No.
I forgot about those. That's true.
Because we need, unfortunately, some parts of the family to take fall, either being blamed further for being involved, as well as people who are willing to collaborate with General Eldrick to say, yep, this happened, this is what happened, but get immunity. I think General Eldrick, because he wants this solved as soon as possible, because it looks good for him. If we know people are willing to knock down your father more, we would be in a good place. But we only should do that with people you can trust to not knock you down later.
Fair. Yeah, I think we need to be very strategic about how we do this.
And we need to probably protect your mom. I know she's
Yeah.
complicit in some of this, but someone needs to be in charge. And rather her, who we all know what she's complicit in, than someone who's more of a wild card, as well as she's your guy's mother. My aunt. Maybe she'll be not a bitch about it. As we arrest her husband and destroy your family.
and she wasn't always the biggest fan of Rain's parents, but she wasn't a murdering criminal like her husband. She just married him, and that's who he was. So, like, what is she gonna do? Send him to jail? Like,
Yeah, like what
he's
she she's gonna go after her in-laws. She's gonna go...
Yeah.
The open secret that they were technically rebels, but like not really, because the queen was okay with it. Because they're not rebelling against the queen; they're rebelling against the idiots.
Alright, so you guys are gonna probably try to get some evidence and pin that, like, put that up as the hard evidence towards Alistair Martefast's crimes, and
Yes.
hopefully get him put in jail, but keeping the rest of the family safe from that,
Who we
like
can.
continuing
Some people are
them
gonna
on
end
their
up in jail
path.
because they were obviously part of the crimes.
Yeah, there's
Also,
probably
because
gonna
some
be
victims
more,
haven't
but
come forth yet. Once they start coming forth, things are gonna get a little rougher.
You definitely don't get immunity from like a murder charge just because you came forward. You know.
That's why I
Like,
think their
there's
mom's the
certainly
safest bet. Is I don't think she actually killed anyone. I think she just
Right.
knew about shit. She gets conspiracy at worst.
Yeah.
So presenting that evidence with everything you guys have to back that, and asking for basically like, hey, your mom, your sister, and you being innocent in all of this, and if your father goes down for it, having your mother be the one who takes over the Martathas motifs and continuing everything with with dissension. Delson, roll a persuasion check with advantage because you have a lot of things backing you up here, but like this is also a hard sell to the General Eldrick in this time, so that's
Yeah, and this
Okay.
isn't saying we're going to do immediately. We're also going to probably ask the Queen what we should do as well, because
Okay.
it's not all on General Eldrick. Because he doesn't want to
Okay.
make a decision and then the Queen be like, "That's a terrible fucking choice."
A persuasion check.
he's got to do something in the meantime.
At least brings us the steps forward to make the people happy. They want to see arrests.
Do I get
Yeah,
any
and arrest
minuses? Do I get
also
any
doesn't
minuses to
always-
this since because of my?
No, it's charisma. It's not anything affecting.
Yeah. Also, we were working as a team, writing down evidence, going through things. We have like we have a whole like binder worth of crap readied.
That is an 18. I rolled an 18.
We spend time drinking tea and eating crumpets and fucking making the book of Alistair Martathas' devise. The fall of the great Martathas.
I think with Rain's sway as well, backing all of this evidence, I would say an 18 is high enough to get General Eldritch warily on the side of thinking this may be the best way to temporarily solve the Martathas problem that the city is dealing with.
I will ask General Eldritch if he would like me to interview their mom, because they shouldn't.
Okay.
Interview the mom? What, like you talking to...
Present her the deal.
Gotcha, okay.
So that way it's not General Eldritch doing it.
I need to go to the bathroom. I will be right back.
Okay. Callumn, roll a persuasion check. Or Rain, roll a persuasion check.
I shall. Okay, and that is 17.
Yeah, he has enough going on right now, so I'd say 17.
He's like, thank
is
God
enough.
someone's solving this fucking problem.
Alright, wow, okay. So we got some progress, things moving on in the background.
So that's probably like
here.
a day and a half in world about. That's the first day, and then like the next morning, essentially presenting to General Eldritch.
Yeah, so all that first happened in the afternoon. Kalina would have had to get some stuff in the evening at their parents' house.
I would go with her.
To help present. And then you guys going and giving the information to the general the next morning. So yeah, so you guys would have that evening for anything else you wanted to do. So Rain, you would join Kalina going to the house trying to steal evidence?
Yes, just because I know it's dangerous right now.
Are you gonna be just following her there and then staying the outside? Are you sneaking in? Or are you just walking in?
If she is also sneaking in, like, it depends on what her situation is. If she's like, I'm gonna walk in, just be like, hey mom, how's it going? And like grab her stuff and leave, then I'm not gonna bother her and let her go do that and just wait outside. But if she's sneaking in, I will join her on the sneak.
She wants to just honestly, her plan was to walk in and see if she could sneak into her parents' room just to see if there's anything that she could find. We already rolled for the presenting the evidence, but I would say just for the fun of rolling and seeing if things went smoothly, you do get some extra evidence. But Rain, roll a stealth check.
Okay, cool. Can I also roll a sleight of hand check helping?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, nat 20 on the stealth check. So that's a 24.
I have to hold on. I have to add to the nat 20 tracker for Rain.
She doesn't have a lot, so we have to add them.
Rain. Off season.
Yeah. And then sleight of hand will be an unnatural 20.
An unnatural.
Yeah, I rolled a 10 and I have a plus 10.
Okay.
Yeah, those are perfectly fine to sneak around and find some incriminating evidence for Mr. Martis. So the night you did successfully sneak in and steal from the Martis family house with Kalina. Delson and Andy, what would you guys do with the rest of the evening? I'm assuming, Delson, you're still not leaving the house because you're still hurting?
He's in the bathroom still, so.
Oh, he's not
He's
here.
not here right now.
Whoops. Sorry,
Um,
I wasn't looking at my phone. What
That's
would Andy
okay.
be doing with the rest of the evening?
I think honestly, the second they started starting to plan, Andy probably excused himself from the whole situation because he can't contribute to that at all.
So, yeah, so when they start talking about all that, Andy has his own things going on. He's thinking about Cawthon.
Yeah.
You're probably also worrying about Yamako, or God, it's freaking Ealeen to you guys. Still on that
Yeah,
name.
for sure. And there's that little thing in the back of his head that's bothering him about the lady in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time he hasn't stopped thinking about her. There's been moments obviously where he's been really busy and can't think about it, but I think anytime he sleeps, he kind of wakes up with a thinking about it.
I really feel like she became like a fear for Andy because
Yeah.
she was faster than Andy, and
Yeah.
there's not much Andy can't outrun.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like the boogeyman.
Speedy man.
And
I'm so sorry I spooked you like this, Vicky.
no, it's okay. It's okay. And Andy is just I can't remember if I told anybody about her. I feel like I did.
You experienced it with Serenity.
Yeah. Did I
So
ever
Serenity's
tell
out there and knows.
Did I ever tell the general or anything like that?
Obviously, Paul knows about it.
Yeah.
You did not
God,
tell
I mean,
General Everett.
I'm
I
slowly
didn't.
but surely rewatching the heist.
Yeah.
I've told some of the other
God,
members of the Lucky Cinq, but I don't remember.
I think I told the whole
yeah,
Lucky about it.
I know where that information would be, but I'm sure if you didn't already tell it there, at some point you would tell it to the Lucky Cinq just to let them
Yeah,
know.
for
So
sure.
yeah, I'm sure you would have
No,
let
I'm
people
sure
know by
you've
now.
told us because Ealeen remembers / Yamakowski.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned it
Yeah.
to Knock.
Yeah, and he wasn't there. Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
Andy is still thinking about it. I think maybe I could try to go out into the city and see if I hear anybody talking about things that could relate to her, anything that could maybe lead to her whereabouts, because I'm gonna assume that she's not gonna be in the same place as she was the
Mm-hmm.
last time. But I think I just want to try to gather information in a sensing kind of way. I want to just listen around, peek into the Underzista, see if I can get anybody who might know anything about her, talk to some folks that I'm friends with who who I know can keep a secret.
So you're gonna sneak off?
And yeah.
I think
Yeah.
in general, like that'd probably be something either like a perception for listening around,
Mm.
or like some sort of charisma or persuasion check for like asking people. So, whatever way you want to kind of go about it,
Mm,
because there's
let's see.
multiple ways the way you're describing that you can kind of roll for.
Yeah. I think it's actually funny. Perception and persuasion are actually the exact same. So I'm just gonna roll. Just gonna
Roll,
roll.
and it's both. Roll for both.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll do perception first and then persuasion. Perception is a dirty 20.
Sorry about that.
And persuasion is also a dirty 20.
What are we
I
talking
rolled
about
the
now?
same
Wow.
number twice. I
What
rolled
are we
the same number twice.
Andy
And I get the
is
same
trying to
plus
find out
above.
some information about the acid monster in the sewers.
Acid lady. Fuck that lady. Hate her.
Andy would probably go and investigate around, you said the Undesisted, and also areas in around your family's shop where
Mhm.
you encountered this acid lady. Um, She does seem, from whispers from those, because there are people out there who are trying to hunt down those touched by fate. There are people in the city who are trying to like fight back against these things. And a very few, but there are some, tough people and adventurers, people doing it for money and gold. And from tales about it and tracking them down, um, she typically moves about that section of the city, Haverwing's Edge, I believe, the one where your family has their shop. So nobody's been able to pinpoint exactly if she has some sort of home or lair down there, but she doesn't seem to be seen outside that section of the city
Mm.
in
Okay.
the pipeline.
Interesting.
So you know a place to enter that area and investigate. You're not sure where in the pipeline you would be able to find her. Um, Obviously, you are able to hear from people different areas where she has been spotted in the pipeline. So you have different areas that you'd be able to like try to search starting off of and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Andy is very aware that this is not something that he should fully go into on his own. Because even when it was the three of us, it was still like way over his head. Way over his head.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's gonna do this in a way that's very safe. Like, he's not gonna try to hunt her down on his own or anything like that. He's just gonna try to pinpoint, yeah, like where in the city she tends to be, and just try to get a little bit more of a pin on her.
Mm-hmm.
And wait till a group of misfits comes along that might be able to help out.
I'll also order like 6 guards to go help Andy. Go stab it for him.
I don't want those
Oh,
guards to
she'll eat
die,
those
is the
guards for
thing.
breakfast.
They'll die. I feel like we would need the Misfits and us to get this bitch
The
in
Lucky
the ground.
Misfits.
Yeah.
Our
Oh
group
my
ship name.
god. The Lucky Misfits. The Misfit Cinq.
Misfits. Yeah.
That doesn't work. that's a number.
Well, neither did the Mighty Nine, but still.
No, it didn't. It didn't. We like the Lucky Cinq.
So also what you missed, Andrew, was me and your sister broke into your family house and found more evidence in your parents' bedroom and whatnot. And we brought
Okay.
and we we spent the whole night as we represented it and rolled for our presentation, but we spent the whole night gathering evidence. So we have plenty and enough to easily, when we go to talk to your mom, be like, do you want to be good or do you want to end up dealing with bullshit?
Yeah.
Do you guys realize how quicker the heist would have been if this is how we did the heist?
Oh, dude, yeah, but I'm so happy we did what we did. Do you know how fun it was?
It was.
We just went through a whole
was.
day in one disaster cast.
We did like an hour and a half.
I do think Delson Andy would want your help with mapping out the areas where this lady's been seen. Like maybe get like a different pin color for your map, just so that we get
Okay.
get like a kind of beat on like a little triangulation of where she's been seen, because like we work out that she stays in that section of the city.
I enjoy
but
we
if
now
can
have managed to turn Delson's
maybe get a
apartment into the
pattern.
home base for the Lucky Cinq.
Dude, Callumn, one fucking brain cell. I was waiting for my next part to speak, and I was gonna think, wow, we just turned Delson's basement into the Lucky Cinq headquarters. Like,
One brain cell.
It's very funny because Andy now has like 3 homes, and the thing is he doesn't really want to be in either of the other 2 right now.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You found
He loves his
family.
parents,
but then
he's a little
Andy would
worried.
also be like, do I want to like just leave my parents in this terrible time during the city where
That's
there's
kind of the other
looting
thing.
and
I think Andy is gonna be checking in on his parents daily.
I imagine you did
yeah.
during your little search.
Yeah.
You stopped in and said,
Honestly,
hey, Mom and
since
Dad,
I
I
was
was in the
there.
area.
It literally is in the area, so yeah, you 100% would.
Yeah.
Your father has I believe, was there anybody? No, there wasn't anybody hired yet to try to fix the top level. I feel like your father would be trying to somehow fix the hole in the side of the building
Yeah.
that the elemental strike did where your room was, all the water now
Yeah.
coming in with the constant rainstorm. I feel like he would either try to find somebody to mend it or just be putting up boards and hoping for the fucking best. Like,
Yeah.
So,
If I come up and I see him like hammering, I'm gonna help him. I'm not
yeah.
gonna let my dad in the rain hammer on his own. I think Andy would like hang from the side of the building with one paw and hammer with the other.
Roll an acrobatics check.
Oh, you got it. That's something I can do. Where's the D20?
I feel like we're gonna name this DisasterCast 36 Heist Session 51.
I said, yeah,
That
that's
is
what
a
it's going to be called.
That's a natural 20, my guy. Natural
Hey,
20.
oh my god. We got 2 natural 20s off season. Wow.
Yeah.
For a total of 32 for acrobatics.
He nails it. That hole is fucking patched.
And he's so
Yeah.
good at that.
Yeah, and Andy has been able to do it so well that it actually is not really leaking in the house anymore.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hmm
So where did we leave
Hanging
ourselves?
from the ceiling by my legs, just
hmm All right, so that's day 1 after the heist. So calculating and combining the storylines to see where everything's at. So
I think we made it to day 2 morning.
So hold on, hold on. So Yamakowski was hold on. So you had this would be so easier on my computer where I have the timeline. But
The
okay,
dude walked away from his computer where you could just type it in.
the day after the heist, that morning of is the one that Yamakowski ended up getting sent off on, I believe.
Okay.
So that means he was sent for that thing the next morning. God, I can't. This would be so much easier if I had the timeline in front of me. I can't.
Don't worry about visualizing it right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I say we only can go 2 days ahead before we begin getting to the point where it affects things.
Yeah, where we can't go too much further ahead because
Yeah.
So, because day
things
2,
need
all
to
my character
happen.
wants to do is we present our findings to General Eldrick. We did our role.
hmm
So we'll do that in the morning. I help out at the guard station for a bit in the until mid-afternoon, and I want to go to the Angel Ear Tavern to check in on Zan.
By the way, Delson's strength is now a 7.
Nice.
Cool.
Still can't leave. Still not allowed to leave the apartment. The guards are still like, "Sir, we think you should stay."
Cool. Yeah. Steadily getting better. We love that.
Zan,
I will let if Kalina, right?
Mhm.
If Kalina wants to come, she can come join me at the tavern. Same thing with Andrish. That's Andrish's choice.
Sure. I like Zan. Zan doesn't
say
like me,
Kalina
but
will
that's okay.
stay. Kalina will stay with Delson and
Okay.
Bleak. Zan is at the Angel Ears. Not currently there, but he had spoken with those same people who offered him the upgrade, and obviously since all of the events, his transition to that has been put on pause, which he does understand, obviously, with the state of the
Yeah, he's like,
city.
okay, that's fine. I
Um,
also didn't want to do that right now either.
Yeah. He has fallen back on some of his old, you know, guard tactics because he's still in one of the outer rings. It's one of the better outer rings, but he's still there. So uh there is looting that is even hitting this area. His windows have been smashed and he has boarded them back up, but he is still trying to keep business going in what limited capacity he can.
Do we see any attempted looters as we make our way to the tavern?
100%.
Okay.
I'll roll 2.
That's
12.
only an 11.
I did better. 12.
This is not that hard. My perception's pretty average.
Vicky, what did you roll?
12.
No.
12. Yeah, no, even with that, you guys are able to see because nobody's really hiding it as this chaos is still going on. Like the guards are honestly not patrolling as much
Yeah,
because
they're
they're
busy.
in concentrated areas where they need high presence of guards and like high quantities. So yes, you guys are able to see uh looters who are actively trying to break into the back entrance to the Angel Ears Tavern,
Cool. It
where
sounds like
you often sneak in, Rain.
yeah, it makes sense. I'm back there. It sounds like some motherfuckers are about to get their ass beat.
I think Andy would like to hide and sneak up behind them. And then just tap them on the shoulder.
Yeah, Rain's gonna be a little more let you, sneak your way around, and I will be, hey!
Ah, damn it.
Well, then
Rain.
they're not seeing you. I'm letting you go hide.
No, literally as Rain goes hey and their attention comes towards her, Andy, you're able to basically sneak behind them and at that moment be on the opposite side and do the tap on their shoulder.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Or
We'll tap.
Or wait, no, I should have let you roll for it. Hold on, stealth check
Okay.
roll. You guys got these high numbers again.
Oh, can I roll
15.
my intimidation? Because that's a full.
Sure. Intimidation check too.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's normal. It's not too crazy. It's a 12.
It was enough to gain their attention, and the 15, yes, their passive perception is not above a 15. So no, yeah, you were able to sneak by them. Technically, you could shoot a necrotic bolt if you wanted to.
I'm not gonna.
because
No,
We're not using magic
no.
on these
My
poor
point-
kids. I'm gonna like twist
my
one's
point
arm
is to
behind his
just
back
go
and make him run.
Like make them shit their pants, basically.
hmm it does surprise them, and one's gonna take a swing at you, Andy.
Okay.
Hold on,
That's fine.
I have to roll a dice now. Oh
He's
god.
like, I didn't bring any dice. That wasn't on the plan.
Good luck, kid.
All right, digital dice. It does a 12 hit Andy.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Yeah, no, he swings and misses.
And he's gonna Andy like ducks under the punch and then is just gonna sweep his leg out from under him.
Yep, sure. Roll to hit. You're gonna hit.
Just
But-
knock him off his ass, yeah.
And
I'm
gonna
not trying
grab.
to hurt him.
I'm gonna grab the other one, arm behind back, and slammed against the wall of the building behind the tavern, on the other side.
Let's do
Roll
let's
a-
do I guess
roll a strength
I guess
check.
unarmed strike. That's what that
Yeah.
would be.
Mine's a tavern brawler strike.
Oh, I didn't roll great, but 10?
Oh.
I get more than one attack though, so
So the first sweep doesn't, but yes, roll another attack.
yeah.
You're
I
not,
rolled
not
a-
gonna
I
be
rolled a
perfect,
2
you know.
on
It's
that.
D&D.
That would that's a 27 to hit.
So he jumps over your first sweep and goes ha, and then you do a second one, and, like it knocks him on his ass. And
Have you
what'd
never
you
done jump
roll,
rope?
Conlan?
I rolled a 22.
Yeah, no, you have them pinned up against the wall. So the one on the ground gets up and just runs away. And what do you do with the person you
I
have?
ask, are you part of a
got?
guild?
What's it to you?
Shove his face further into the wall.
Roll another intimidation check.
Oh, good. That's a 24.
Yes, I'll get back to you on which one. Don't know off the top of my head.
But he
yes,
answers a
they are
guild. That's
part
all
of
I
the
want
guild.
to do. Okay, I just need to be like, well,
Mhm.
tell him to not mess with this tavern, or there'll be wrath to pay. And then I let him scatter away with his broken nose.
Cool. All right, and you're able to get in the back entrance.
Yep, I knew we were gonna deal with some looters and beat them up.
Hold on. 1 second.
I don't think I ever gave Bryan the full letter for Zan.
Who goes in first?
I do.
Does a 25 hit you?
Yeah, 25 does hit me.
Zan swung a frying pan at you, and
Okay, can I use my uncanny dodge to take half damage?
yes.
I'm just
I
like,
think
whoa!
Andy will just catch Rain like have his hands behind her back to catch her so she doesn't like fall on her ass from being hit in the head with a frying pan.
Well, I kind of duck it, so it's kind of not a graceful thing to do.
I just oh,
I think
You're okay.
uncanny dodge. It hits your arm that you throw up in
Okay,
defense
okay.
as you
Yeah.
dodge out of the way, so it doesn't hit your hand, and you only take 2 points of damage. But
Okay.
still, he just, and obviously he apologizes, but
I'm not
looters.
upset. I'm not upset with Zan. He's been doing the correct thing. Also, it's funny because he's a guard, so he's actually genuinely a hide-it. He can actually... Fighting him isn't going to be pleasant. He actually was like... I don't remember what level we made him, but he's like not a level 0 character.
Mhm.
I'm like, I need your help.
So what do you want to talk about with him? Mhm.
I'm going to ask him some of the business people who still have connections to get stuff into the city.
What, like people who send like shipments of like food and supplies and stuff?
Yeah, people who are still trying to get stuff in. Because we need to deal with this crisis.
Most avenues are really cut off getting things in and out of the city right now. Both the travel down from the docks to the crater below for seafood supplies and trade from other like southern islands and things like that. That has been cut off. The bridge out of the city has been cut off. Currently, right now, he from his supply chain at least, he doesn't have new things coming in.
Okay. Because whoever can get more new things coming in will be paid handsomely by the crown.
So you're looking for more under the table ways getting like things in and out of the city?
If we have to, we need to relieve some of the stuff that's happening. And from my talkings with people, I'm making deals. You know me, wheeling and dealing. Zan's probably like, this is horrifying. What are you wheeling and dealing? There's money to be made getting things in and using them as relief supplies. And reimbursement to be had. I just want you to
It
begin
would
spreading
definitely
that to
take
businesses.
pretty skilled people. Probably take really skilled people right now, just because any attempt to get outside the protective bubble is met by elementals.
Right.
Well, you know your avenues, Zan. Spread what you can, see if anyone's willing to risk it. Also, we need help with... There's now a housing crisis with all these people coming in from the bridge. And anyone who has any type of resources, if you could put me in contact with people we trust to help make this better, there will be payouts from the crown by the end of it. I can't hear you, Bryan.
Roll a persuasion check.
You're very laggy.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay,
Roll a persuasion check.
that's a 19.
Then we'll see what he can do.
Does he have any questions for me?
Well, first, what was the last time he saw you? The last
time he saw
the
me,
last
I
time he
dropped
saw
off
you-
some of my gear and a letter to him. And the letter
Yeah,
essentially said,
and
I got myself into some shit. If I don't show back up, send this out to the Grove. If I come back for it, I'll grab it. I'm actually going to grab my stuff, or at least say I'm going to send for it soon. And then
Jan will ask if you're okay.
That's the look. I'm making it work. There is some news, though.
Go on.
I know who my real parents are.
He'll ask how you found that out and who they are.
Half my own work, half my aunt. She figured it out. She's apparently a smart lady. I'm gonna stand and face away from him. Kind of stiffen up into a more formal stance. And just simply say, in a quite regal as a stallion voice, I am Rain, Joanna Cinderheart, daughter of, and go through the whole little quick spiel.
God, you have a way you announce yourself now. You regal, royal. God.
Well, it's more that I'm kind of like Zan deserves to get what, like, he knows my sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just thinking those
Andy's
long
just like
names.
fucking
I'm
around
this,
in the
this,
background.
Yeah,
He's
Andy's
like-
looking at glasses, trying to find clean ones.
Yeah, vibing.
There's a little band in the corner.
Yeah,
Oh, he's breaking it down.
Kind of saying,
yeah.
just staying inside, sheltered from the rain. They normally perform out on the streets, but not much to do.
Oh, yeah. Andy will just be like,
I imagine Zan's just staring at me.
He will be a little bit shocked, but more on the sense of like he's thought of that before. Zan will admit to like, hey, he has tried to put the pieces together as to who you were before, and nothing would ever give concrete, but the timelines and everything with stuff
So he's not
and the way
totally
you look,
surprised.
because he's not totally surprised. It's almost like he's definitely thought this is an option. He didn't think it was the option, but it was something he's thought of before.
Yeah,
And
because he was a guard from that time.
Yeah, so he was actually around when all of that happened. He saw Rain multiple times. Like he knew what was going on.
I
And
simply look at him and
he'd
say,
probably pull you in for a hug.
I will have that hug. And as he releases the hug, I will kind of slightly teary-eyed be like, I guess the Cinderheart family thanks you for taking care of me. I guess Zan thanks. You didn't have to take me in. But you did.
He'll be thankful that that someone he knew paying attention to the times. He knew that that family was going somewhere, and he knows the legend of Zista's lost daughter and everything that you were and your death had created on the city. And he'll be happy that he was the one who helped keep you safe.
I'm getting into uncharted territory. Less riffraff like I mentioned in my letter. More government work? What a wild sentence to say from what we've done in our lives.
it's in the corner.
Andy's killing me. Oh my god.
Andy's 100% not caring. He's like, this song's banger.
Have you guys heard of the Rainbow Tabaxi before?
Yeah, you guys, you're a great band, dude.
Yeah.
You guys have any thaumaturgists?
Yeah.
But
I can hook you guys up.
Yeah.
I've befriended General Eldrick, and I'm currently assisting him in getting the city to a place of stability. I feel like he's just like, better than crime.
It is a lot to take in, even knowing the fact that one of his assumptions was right, and then just knowing who you were and like everything that has happened over the years. It's like a lot to take in. That like, wow, a week ago you were bragging that your raven had stolen certain amount of gold off of some person, and now you're going into government work. Like a little bit of like a shock
It
of how
sounds
quickly
like the
things
United States of
change.
America.
Oh my god.
I kind of just from the corner, I'm like, hey Zan, aren't you happy I ran into your tavern the other day? And ignored you?
Did you run in and ignore him the other day? Refresh me?
Yeah. Yeah, at the very beginning, he tried to keep me out of the meeting room with Rain, because
And
he thought that I was
yeah.
like
And
a
ignored.
weirdo.
Oh, like on day one?
Yeah, because he
Oh,
ran up
okay.
to Zan and said, "Do you
I,
know
like,
who
ran
Rain
up.
is?"
Yeah. And Zan was like, no.
Yeah, because like
And
you're
I
being
ignored
fucking
him and went back
sus.
there anyway.
He'll kind of defer to Rain on that one of like, was it good that I let this one in the room?
Yes, Andrish and I used to be friends. I think we used to hang out here. Though I guess that's why you didn't trust him. Some of my past...
No, he doesn't recognize me. I'm a cat now.
Oh, that's true. This is Andrish. We used to
Yeah.
date. He
Hi.
used to be a half-elf, though. Very hot. Still hot, but different type of hot now.
Thanks.
He's
You
now
too,
very
bestie.
hot instead of
Not
person
my
hot.
type of hot, but still hot.
Rain's an honest person.
Yeah.
When it comes to sex,
Mhm.
that is. She's very sex positive.
Alright.
And I think we'd probably
Well,
leave
anything
shortly
else
after.
you
We'd
wanna
probably
talk
eat
about
we'd
with
probably
Zan?
eat something and then we'd leave.
Yeah, have a nice little, God, what time of day would this be?
It'd be late lunch.
That was the morning time you went, right?
No,
What
we
is
went
the name of the band?
just after like lunchtime for the guard when they were at the transfer station. We headed over during lunchtime.
Mhm.
So it's like right after, like by the time we get across the city, it's probably right after lunch.
Gotcha, okay. And to Vicky, the answer to your question on
Yeah.
band name generator.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fantasy band name generator. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
We're not doing hot androids.
Damn.
Yeah, we don't got androids yet. It could be hot. Oh, what are they actually called in automaton?
Ooh, I like that.
Wait,
I like
hot
that.
Tomaton.
Hot Tomaton! Yes!
Hot Tomaton.
I
Oh
love
my
us. We are
god.
Hot
so good at this.
Tomaton.
Canon.
Because automatons do
Hell.
exist, the magic versions of androids.
Hell, yes, that's
Mhm.
so good. Hot Tomaton. I love it.
Hot Tomatons. Oh my god.
They kind of have a motif of like, they like draw like a kind of iridescent thing, like the Tron logo kind of on their arms and stuff. And be like, yeah, we're robots.
Oh my
I love
god.
them.
That's their whole
What if
thing.
they're just
None of you
all
guys know
actual
what-
automatons? That'd be great.
Actually,
Fully
Vicky, do you know what
automaton
steam powered giraffe is? You're the only person here that would ever know what steam powered giraffe
I
is.
do, yeah.
See,
I do.
see, same taste.
Yes.
It's like steam powered giraffe, but fantasy. Do they play
I'm
Honeybee for us?
imagining like a.
This is now a joke that's so niche. Only the true comically pro trans people know about it. Not that you guys aren't pro trans, I know you are, but you guys aren't listening to Steam Powered Giraffe. You haven't fallen all the way down the gay ladder.
I indeed have not heard of steam powered giraffe, but that sounds
You've
amazing.
listened to Steam Powered Giraffe, Bryan, because I was listening to it when we were doing the door. They're the band I was explaining to you.
Oh, okay.
Where they're mimes. That's what their college degree is in mimery.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
But they mime being steam-powered robots that play music, which is fantastic. They're the best. They're one of the best bands.
I think they could play in the Underzista.
Yeah, shout out Steam Powered Giraffe. Love you. Right. But we listen to the music, we eat our lunch, and then I would probably check in with the shops, but you don't need to give me anything detailed. Just, are they alive? All my normal shops alive? If that's a good, I'm going home.
I'd probably
there's
make
various
the daily
signs of
rounds for my
looting.
parents again. Yeah.
Various signs of looting, but yeah, they're still there. And your family has resumed some sense of normal business in a post-apocalyptic world. We're getting a lot
Yeah.
more commercial, a lot more civilian sales than usual.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do we
I
have
think,
bills to
like,
pay?
probably not.
No, to the shop owners that we bought stuff from. I don't remember if we had bills to pay or not. We'll look into that later. That'll be dealt with off stream.
I think we paid them
Yeah.
up front.
I'd probably have a similar conversation as to Zan, saying, hey, if you happen to know people that can get us shit to help those who are, or if you yourself are willing to help, you will get reimbursed by the crown. I'm setting up stuff the queen hasn't agreed to yet, but, like, realistically, that's what the crown's gonna have to do.
Yeah, I think maybe for the afternoon, Andy will stay at the shop and make some, like, basic daggers and swords to help sell.
Rain will stop at a couple of her favorite businesses.
Do some basic blacksmith kind of stuff.
Actually, the last thing Rain will do is to go to Tellurian Town to try and speak to the head of Tellurian Town that she'd seen before.
Okay.
That's separate
If
from
I
this.
could, though, yes, I'm just saying, maybe it's the fact that I'm laying at a bed right now.
No, you're getting tired. Also, it's like 11:15.
I'm getting tired. Yeah, it is also 11:15.
Sleepy times.
I don't know if you guys want to keep on talking in the DisasterCast.
We're going to talk separate of DisasterCast, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to say thank you for joining us on this wonderful DisasterCast where we, it totally wasn't just a session of the heist. Not at all. What are you talking about? You're lying.
DisasterCast 36, heist session 51.
It was like light heist. Light heist.
We need to eventually go over this stuff eventually anyway, so we did it now because we were in a play D&D mindset. And Callumn, we love you. That's all that you need to know. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Callumn.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need to make a new playlist on our YouTube channel, the off season.
Yeah, because we're going to have to do this again. Because I think Tellurian Town, that conversation will be like a mini session.
Yeah. This was fun.
Think
we always talked about doing this.
With us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until the Misfits meet up with the heist characters, we kind of have to know what they did.
We have to just fill in every couple months. We have to just be like, hey, here's like 2 days.
Yeah.
Sure. Andrew, are you still with us? Nope. Okay.
I don't think he is.
It's okay. Thank you for joining us. It's been awesome. Good night.
See you for the next disaster.
Thanks for joining.